Can you power scale Mettaton because I'm sick and tired of people making fun of Neo? I also want to know how strong this robot is in each phase compared to other monsters.
This is great. Can you do
Now
power
strong is
scale
this
as
raw
Google?
because I've seen so many.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we are again. Welcome back to another video. Now, I've heard your cries for help, and today, I will be answering all of them. Instead of doing all your requests as individual videos, I'll be doing all of them in one. If you've watched my content, you know the deal. None of that stupid power scaling system. And we'll be categorizing each character in these ranks, from weakest to strongest. We got the Jokesters, the Mighty, the Superpowered, and the Big Leagues. So without further ado, let's begin. Why did I say it like that? In this category of Undertale characters, we got Alphys and Sans. Now, Alphys isn't really a fighter, but we do know she's capable of lightning magic, seeing as she uses it to protect you from a mega flowing true pacifist. But that's basically it for her strength, since most of her power is, well, brain power. She's a scientist, not a fighter. Now for Sans, a total of 1 HP, 1 attack, and 1 defense. Now, while he is the easiest enemy, his karma makes up for his weakness. Now the question is, what exactly is karma? So, karma is a poison type damage Sans inflicts on you when hit by his attacks, as the flavor text says. Notice a common trend here? Sin. Karma targets sin. It doesn't matter if you're level 1, no matter how much EXP or love you gain. At the end of the day, we've all done something wrong in our lives. There is no such thing as a completely righteous person. Unless you're Jesus. Shout out to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, by the way. Now the next question is, how much karma does one take? Thankfully, I can answer this. So, there's the initial karma value for every attack. For example, his Gaster Blasters. They have an initial karma value of 10. So for every frame you're in that attack, you add 1 damage plus 1 karma. So if you're blasted for 3 frames, that's 3 damage plus 12 karma, which is 15 damage total. Bones carry an initial karma value of 5. Same formula. So if you're in the same bone attack for about 5 frames, that's 5 damage plus 9 karma, which is 14 damage total. The top menu bones carry 2 karma, and the bottom menu bones carry 1 karma. If 2 separate attacks are blasting you, you stack the karma values together. 2 separate blasters for 3 frames, 3 damage plus 12 karma per blaster, which means in total, you take 6 damage plus 24 karma, which is 30 damage total. Another thing to note about karma damage is that it cannot go past 40 due to the rate it drains your health. Here's a list of how fast karma drains your HP. Now that we know how karma damage works, we can move on to his other abilities. His Blue Soul mode, the ability to add and change the gravity of one's soul, and finally, he can teleport, whether it be himself, you, or teleporting in a new series of attacks. Despite his weakness, his brains make up for that. Unfortunately though, this means he's at a disadvantage against characters with too much HP. And with that, that's all for the Jokesters of the main cast. And now, we move on to the Mighty. Now, we've made it to the Mighty. This category consists of Papyrus, Mettaton, Toriel, Undyne, and Flowey. Now, for Papyrus, this guy has a total of 680 HP, 20 attack, and 20 defense, the younger brother of Sans. His abilities consist of Bones, Blue attacks, Blue Soul magic, and presumably Gaster Blasters. Now, I say this because in an aborted No Mercy route, Papyrus mentions how his special attack would have blasted us. He also has good magic control, as he is one of the only characters in the whole game that doesn't kill you. Toriel tries to, but even she's capable of slipping up and accidentally killing us. Papyrus, on the other hand, he knows how to control himself, and it's very clear he's holding something back, since his objective is to capture us, not to kill us. Now for the next character, Mettaton. Not really a fighter, but he has the strength. Standing at 30 attack and 255 defense, he's basically invulnerable. For his abilities, just like Alphys, can use lightning magic to zap you. And just like Papyrus, he keeps you alive, always reducing the damage the zap deals to you. He can also throw these boxes, bombs, and bars at you. Shooting the white part of the bars makes them go faster, unless you fired the yellow part. Oh, Mettaton can also fly, by the way. And now for his EX form. he stands at 1600 HP, 47 attack, 47 defense. Despite being stronger, he's far more durable now. He's now capable of blue attacks, the lightning zaps come out of his heart now, and one word: legs. Unfortunately, due to his body being incomplete, he can't fight for too long since his body would begin breaking down before shutting off. Now for Mettaton Neo, I'll get back to him. Don't worry, sit tight, I will get there. And now it's time for the next character, the former queen of all monsters, Toriel. Standing at 440 HP, 80 attack, and 80 defense, Toriel's abilities consist of fire and healing magic. Her fireballs have a special property to them. For example, they bounce off walls a little bit before they stop. Just like Papyrus and Mettaton, she has good control over her abilities, just not as good, since Toriel can still slip up and accidentally kill you. During her boss fight, she's holding back, considering she's able to produce fireballs that are strong enough to knock Asgore across the room. Now, the reason I put her below Undyne is because, despite her stats, she's not a fighter. Also because Undyne literally threw her out of the castle in one of the neutral endings. Alright, next character, Undyne, the captain of the Royal Guard, standing at 1500 HP, 50 attack, and 20 defense. Her abilities consist of spears, green soul magic, more spears, and determination. She's also able to suplex boulders, by the way. And her spears are this strong. Now imagine how hard that would hit if she was in her Undying form. Speaking of Undyne the Undying, I will also get to her later. Despite her strength, she doesn't really do well when the heat is up. For now, I want to revisit someone. Flowey. I already made a video on him, so I'll skim through his feats. Unknown attack defense value, formerly had the ability to save and load before first reawakened Kara Spirit, can make undodgeable attack patterns, can lift an elevator from the beginning of Highland all the way to the start of New Home. All of this without the souls, by the way. He's killed everyone, saved everyone, won, died, he's seen everything. And now, it's time to move on to the next category. The Superpowered. This list consists of the near strongest characters in all of Undertale. This category consists of Asgore, Mettaton Neo, and Undyne the Undying. Let's focus on Asgore Dreamer, the king of all monsters. Standing at 3500 HP, 80 attack, 80 defense. Abilities consist of fire magic, blue and orange attacks, as well as his skill with the trident. This guy has killed 6 humans, so he's no joke. And just like Toriel, he is a boss monster, meaning his soul is much stronger than the average monster. And unlike Toriel, Asgore's fire magic is far more aggressive and bigger than hers. They also don't bounce. Asgore is also the one who trained Undyne, and according to her, he's capable of dodging, just like Sans. Another strength of Asgore is his ability to interact with your menu. Before his boss fight begins, he uses his trident to destroy your mercy option, which tells me, if Asgore had the guts to fight you in Geno, he could have just eliminated your fight option instead, and it would have been GG's. Point I'm making here is, Asgore's no fraud. He's a king for a reason. And now for our next character, Mettaton Neo. Built as a human eradication robot by Dr. Alphys, her greatest invention yet. Standing at 30,000 HP, 90 attack, 9 defense. Mettaton Neo carries the highest HP value out of every character in the entire game. Now I know you're thinking, Chris, you're stupid! Mettaton Neo is the weakest character in the game! You're absolutely delusional! Pipe down, let me explain. You are right about Mettaton Neo going down in one hit. That is a fact. However, we must use our common sense here. Mettaton EX retains the same abilities he had when he was in his box form. So, he should retain those same abilities in his Neo form too. And seeing as Neo's supposed to be his combat form, it's most likely safe to say he also gets his EX abilities on top of that. Combined with the obvious inclusion of a blaster, he can presumably fire energy beams at you. So, he can 100% zap you with lightning, bombs, etc. 30,000 HP is one thing, but with 90 attack, he would be hitting as hard as Undyne the Undying. As for his 9 defense, let's find a monster who carries a similar amount. For that test, I chose Moldbig. This thing has 18 defense, so realistically, all we have to do is double the damage we deal to Moldbig, and that will be the accurate amount of damage a non-genocidal Frisk would do to Mettaton Neo. So let's do the math, shall we? Alright, let's do the math. So just double the damage and... Remember, this guy still has 30,000 HP after that. Which means, Spamton wasn't wrong. Neo was famous for its high defense. And now to answer the hard-hitting question. Why doesn't Mettaton Neo attack you? Let's think about this for a second. Would it be fair to have one boss fight right before the big one? No, I don't think so. Pretty sure that's just bad game design. And the only reason he goes down in one hit is because at that point, we are way too strong. Not much Neo can do here. And well, that's it for Minaton Neo. And now for the strongest character in the superpowered category, Undyne the Undying. The true hero reformed by her own determination to save the world, setting at 23,000 HP, 99 attack, 99 defense. Her determination not only has allowed her to refuse death itself, but has made her even stronger than Asgore, making her the strongest monster in the underground. She retains the ability she had in her base form, only this time she's far stronger and faster than she ever was before. And with that, this concludes the Superpowered. And now, we move on to the last one. Ladies and gentlemen, we have made it to the zenith, the big leagues. This last batch consists of the top 3 strongest characters in all of Undertale. This list consists of Omega Flowey, Kara, and Asriel. Since I already did a video on these two, expect it to go by quickly. Except for Kara. I have a lot to say. Anywho, Photoshop Flowey, 9950 HP, high attack, high defense, can access 6 different save menus, only takes 1 damage per hit, can one-shot you get the idea, overpowered as hell. And now, Kara, the fallen human. As we know, Kara utilizes Frisk's power, which means Kara can split people in half with whatever weapon they want, completely eviscerate robots, deal billions of damage in a single hit, you get the idea. A total of 99 HP, 30 attack, and 4 defense. But with the real knife and locket, that adds an extra 99 attack and 99 defense to their stats. Upon physically manifesting at the end of Geno, Kara makes a deal with you, to erase what's left and to move on to the next world, before Kara kills you, along with the world. Or did they? Alright, it's theory time. So, I don't think Kara erased... No, scratch that. This is not a theory. Kara did not erase the world, and I will prove it. Kara didn't erase the world. They erased your connection to the world. Your means of connection? Frisk. Oh, but the player isn't getting into Undertale! Let me prove that too. In Pacifist, it's revealed that you are not Frisk nor Kara. Both are their own people. At the end of Geno, that's made even more clear. You are not Kara. At the end of Pacifist, Flowey talks to you, not Kara. He's already over that. He's already accepted that Kara's long gone is moving on. If he wasn't talking to you, that leads me to one conclusion. And doing a No Mercy reel the second time, Kara talks about how you've done this already. Now if you know anything, Frisk doesn't remember true resets, so if Kara isn't talking to us, they're talking to a wall. Alright, back to Kara's world-destroying feat. This is false, and I'll prove it right now. And this line of code that you guys love to use proves my point. Let me educate you on how Undertale's files work. Undertale.exe merely runs the data.win file existing in this folder. That file contains everything. The code, the stats, the sprites, the sound effects, everything. All Undertale.exe does is run the code in this file. It is merely an access point to Undertale's world. If Kara wanted to truly erase everything, they'd have to delete that, not Undertale.exe. So no, Kara didn't destroy the world, that was all us. Heck, in fact, there's still the barrier, which takes 7 human souls to destroy, and Kara is still one person, so they didn't destroy that. And every time Kara talks about the world, it is strictly referring to the underground. Heck, in fact, Kara literally admits they didn't destroy the world, that it was all you. That it was you that destroyed everything. All Kara did was erase the last piece of it. You. And the game closing on you proves that even more, because you gotta remember, Omega Flowey does the same thing to you. The only difference is, Kara gets straight to the point, but Flowey likes to enjoy himself, which is why he brings you back.
But your soul shatters when you die, what is this?
This is how I know y'all don't be reading. Look at Waterfall. When a human dies, their soul lingers. Do you really think Asgore would sit by and let her soul shatter after he's done this 6 different times? Of course not. And even if he didn't collect it, the human soul isn't that weak. But if Kara killed you, why don't you load your save file? Read the name of that save file for me, please? Whose name is that? But Kara recreates the world! 2 words. True reset. Oh yeah, I pissed off a lot of people with this. Timelines and erasure aside, Kara is still strong as hell. And I will say, this kid is a threat to both monsters and humans. Undyne and Medita were not exaggerating that part. Their ability to one-tap basically everything in their path makes them one of the most deadliest characters in the game. However, there's no time-space breaking shenanigans. That goes to the next guy over here. Asriel Dreamer. Not only can a guy rain stars and strike people with lightning, the guy destroyed the timeline, reinstated it, broke the barrier, elaborates, and leaves. Not only is he capable of such power, but he also has the highest amount of determination of anyone in the entire game. I will go further in depth with this with my later video. From having infinite attack, infinite defense, yeah, do I really have to say more? You can't beat Infinity. But Chris, he lost to a child. Refer to my Frisk video, and then come back here. He beats everyone on this list, except for Pacifist Root Frisk because he quite literally cannot die. I rest my case. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to reward these fellas over here. Kara and Flowey are disqualified for being too powerful. The highest HP stat goes to Mettaton Neo. Highest attack stat, Undying the Undying. Highest defense stat, Box Mettaton. For the hardest battle, I'm split between Undying and Sans. So to settle this, I'll have you decide who gets this reward. I'll make a poll later. Now for the final reward, the highest KD goes to Asgore Dreamer. He killed 6 humans, come on. Pretty tough stuff. And now, this is where the video ends. I may or may not have angered many people. And if this did anger you, please, write a comment. You have a chance to get pinned, so don't waste it. Okay, jokes aside, thank you all for showing up. I'll see y'all in the next one.